I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I guess the crowd's not here because school's in session now, and parents had to get ready. Review of the minutes. Weekly Town Board meeting of July 3rd, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Weekly Town Board meeting of July 24th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
I abstain. I missed that meeting.
Okay. Executive session of July 24th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Special Town Board meeting of July 29th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, no, sorry, I was not there.
You weren't there, you're not
That was
moving.
the meeting I
Abstain. I
missed, sorry.
abstain. I was not
Abstained. Well, it's gotta be Mike then.
Yeah, yep, so moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Monthly Town Board meeting, August 1st, 2019.
there.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Special Town Board meeting of August 8th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Committee reports, Conservation Board.
Okay, the Conservation Board was postponed till September because of the two applicants requesting such. However, one of the two applicants, Lake Surprise, did have some updates regarding their violations. If you recall, they cut into roadways into the forest areas, about 3/4 of a mile. And basically, they received letters from the state on September 3rd from New York State Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation. Part of the mitigation plan to restore and so forth have to be trees that match the species of the removals. All of it has to be approved by the state. They have to guarantee the survival of 5 years. They also have to make sure that there's no invasive species growing back, because as you cut new growth, obviously you're going to have problems like Japanese silkgrass and black swallowwort and so forth. They grow back very aggressively. Also, if they do perform the work between April 1st and October 1st, they have to have a timber rattler snake monitor there, especially if machinery is used. I do want to clarify that too, because some handwork can be done that could also possibly do quite a bit of activity, so I just want to clarify that piece of it. But I would say and point out again that these issues happen mainly because what should have really occurred was anybody thinking of cutting into the forests in this town should go to contact Max Garfinkel's, the Wetlands Resource Officer, and ask them, because there were both town and state violations that occurred here. Now, regardless of these trees going back in, it's going to take a great deal of time for them to really get back to what they really were providing prior. So that is really a very important thing that I think most people need to follow up with. We work very well with people, and if there are issues that can happen, and then the biggest thing is we can coordinate with the state and make sure that you don't get into those kind of jams. And our next meeting is on September 10th.
Thanks, Mike. Recreation.
Recreation did not meet this month, but I want to remind people that the Castle to River Run is October 19th, and that requires a lot of volunteers. It's a wonderful event. I was at it last year, and we have runners from all over the country and world, actually, that participate. So any volunteers for the rec department, please contact Amber Stickle, who's the Director of Recreation for Philipstown. The Castle to River Run, October 19th.
Thanks, Judy.
What time does that start?
Early in the morning. Volunteers should be there about 7, but I think the race starts around 8 a.m., 8:30.
Usually somewhere.
Yeah, in that range. There's it goes in waves. There's a
Right,
5K
different
and then
groups.
longer, depending on the mileage, how long the race is. And there's a children's race as well. So 1 mile, which is fun.
All right, thank you. Philipstown Coalition that cares.
The coalition did not meet this month.
Okay.
They will be meeting in the fall, and
Thank you.
let everyone know.
Planning Board.
Okay, I attended the planning board August 15th. The first thing on the agenda was a return of escrow of Hudson Highland Reserve. That was unanimously passed. The public hearing that was scheduled for the golf station down on Route 9 in Nelsonville, Nelson Lane, got rescheduled to next month. The applicant couldn't make it, but he did notify everyone, and so no one really showed up for the public hearing. People were aware that it did get postponed or rescheduled. The only new item on the agenda was this Claudia Moth. It's a minor site plan, 120 Skylight Drive, which is over for Route 9 and Horseman's Trail Road. The applicant is seeking to construct a new single-family house of 4,000 square feet in the same location as original identified in the plot plan approval and subdivision plan. It will be a two-story slab on grade. The property is approximately 13.26 acres and located in the RC zoning district. This is a ridgeline area as well. The planning board classified it as a minor project. There are no zoning violations that are known of at this particular time. The EAF was submitted, no environmental impact. A type 2 action was declared to refer to the Conservation Board and North Highlands Fire Company. A site visit was scheduled and was on 8/25 at 9:30. I also attended the site visit as well. It's a nice piece of property up there, and the area they're really putting the house really has any type of really a slope to where the house is going to be. So I think they'll be on the agenda for next month. The meeting was adjourned at 8:05. Next meeting, September 19th.
Thanks, Bob. Just like an Edward Hopper painting out there right now at the window. That sunset. Beautiful. Zoning.
Zoning, I attended a special meeting for the Zoning Board of Appeals, which was, they usually do not meet in the month of August, but for the application for Rick and Mark Ventura for a 1 Landgate Road for a processing facility that has been issued a stop work order by the code enforcement officer. Oh, sorry, Seal. Code enforcement officer had issued a stop work order. The applicant is seeking interpretation from the zoning board. The application was deemed complete and referred to a public hearing which will be held September 9th, which is Monday, and this will be held at the Philipstown Rec Center at 7:30. And the next meeting is September 9th.
Just a little follow-up on that. We've been battling with this particular property at the end of Landgate Road for 5 years. Been in court, I don't know how many times, one locally, one at the county level, one at the state level, and it just keeps coming back. It's incomprehensible the way the law works. Something has to be done because the municipality and neighbors can't suffer like this needlessly. I mean, he's obviously in violation of the zoning, and it's just, I can't fathom what has happened over these 5 years. We went in court, and then we're right back where we started. They come back in and put another application into the zoning board, which they have a right to do,
And meanwhile, the facility is continuing to operate.
and pile up.
Right.
And
We don't.
I can't see how under any law, under DEC, under, why Central Hudson isn't concerned that you can walk up and touch the power lines. It's,
It's a
to
scary
me, it's,
situation.
and people keep looking at us like, why aren't you doing something? Well, we're doing everything within our power, but, because of the way the system works, it's just has been not ineffectual, but has taken a much longer time than we feel that it should have. So, but I'll tell you, this thing's coming to a close. So, I hope so too. Highway.
Philipstown Town Board from Carl Frazenda, work performed by the Philipstown Highway Department for the month of August. The crews have been out grading, repairing drains, cutting back brush, and mowing. Again, we are asking residents to trim back any of their bushes or shrubs that are along the town roads on your property. We appreciate your help. August brings on the need for dust control. The crews have been out throughout the month, and the operation will continue as needed. Bridge deck replacement work is finished on Old Albany Post Road. The road is now open, and we appreciate your patience using alternate routes while the work is being done. Horton Road Bridge will begin the first week of September. Work is on the side of the road and shouldn't affect traffic, but please proceed with caution when in the area. The abutments will be resurfaced. Road paving was completed on the following roads: East Mountain Road North from the dam to 431, East Mountain Road South from number 260 to Route 9, Mountain Drive in Continental Village, the remainder of Aqueduct Road in Continental Village, and Moffett Road from Rock Ledge to 9D. For August, the Highway Department received approximately 50 phone calls or fax regarding road complaints and issues. The majority of calls were in reference to road paving. Roughly $4,050 was spent on vehicle maintenance and repair for the month of August. Carl Present, Highway Superintendent.
Thank you, Carl. Spoke to Carl 3 times today.
Nice.
Spoke to you 3 times.
You did?
Used up my allotment.
Yep, for 2 weeks.
Building and land acquisition, you'll see much of the agenda is dedicated to that this evening, and if you look around the room, you'll see that we're starting to take things down and get ready to vacate this building, but we'll go into that in more detail when we get to the agenda. Putnam County Legislator. Oh my God.
That's you.
Here comes Nancy.
Hi, I am Nancy Montgomery, Putnam County Legislator, District 1. Thank you for giving me the space to just give you some highlights from the county this month. On October 5th, just a couple of things from the website. You can go on their website, and there's a whole host of great information about things happening in the county, in particular with the health department. On October 5th from 9 a.m., I think to 5 p.m., I'm not sure, actually. Sorry, I thought it was 12, but now I have written down 5. There is a household hazardous waste cleanup right up the road from us here at Canopus Beach parking lot. The items accepted are drain oven cleaners, rug upholstery cleaners, polishes, waxes, spot removers, anything you can think of. But what's not accepted is e-waste, used oil, latex paint, lead acid batteries, plastic bags, tires, and unlabeled and unidentified containers and batteries. Councilman Flaherty and Councilwoman Farrell and I met with Jane Munier from the Health Department at Patterson Recycling, had a great tour of that facility. So to touch on e-waste, it was interesting to see what they do, and I gave you some quotes from vendors if I can help in any way. But one thing that Jane did say in regard to household hazardous waste, if the town has anything that we need, like a lot of light bulbs or things like that we want to dispose of there, we could just give her a call, make an appointment. Maybe I'll give Carl a call to see if he has anything, and we could just bring it up that day. Pre-registration is required. Call the Putnam County Health Department for that. Second Passport Saturday is Saturday, September 21st, if anybody's looking to leave the country, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Putnam County Clerk's Office in Carmel. If you need more information, just call 845-808-1142. And a couple of things I wanted to talk about. One, the legislature voted to amend the confidentiality law that they passed in July. That passed. I voted no again because I still don't feel like the law is acceptable in the format that it's in. And they also voted to amend the legislative manual based on this confidentiality law too, which kind of restricts my authority to give information to you and to the public. So that's unfortunate. I'm going to continue to look at that. Also, a local law was passed to create a Department of Tourism, as you know, and they named a new tourism director, Tracy Waller-Walsh, and Kathleen Abels, the Putnam County Economic Development Corporation president. They're both going to be at the Village Hall at 7:30 p.m. on the 24th at the Village meeting. I wanted to make an introduction. That's where the bulk of tourism is, and they have to deal with the most of it. If you'd like, I can arrange a meeting with you guys, with the two of them, or if you want to come down to that meeting and it's an informal. September 24th at 7:30 p.m. It's at their Village Workshop meeting. I also got trained last week to be an angel for Hope Not Handcuffs. It's a program that I'd like to bring to the Cold Spring Village Police. The commander, officer in charge, Larry Burke, is helping me work on it. So I've been in touch with them several times. We're just trying to find a date to bring that to the village. Also, you probably read headlines. Putnam County sales tax collections continue to soar for Putnam County. We're up 2.2 million, the best ever. This is an issue I know that is of great concern to you guys, and it's an issue that I would like to continue to look at, pick up. Maybe, again, have to start trekking it up to Albany to talk about this, and would like your support with that. I know we had somebody through the Community Congress working on it too, and if we can open that up again and bring her in on it. And you guys should pat yourselves on the back. We passed that safe storage law last year, and the state just had a continuation of that and passed the original law that we wanted, where it's a law now to keep your firearms locked up if you have a child under the age of 16. So that's now a New York State law that went into effect this month. So I, again, appreciate the work on that. There was another, they also passed, the state also passed the law that establishes a 30-day waiting period to conduct background checks prior to the sale of a firearm, rifle, or shotgun. So you guys should be proud of yourselves for being ahead of the game on that. And that's all. Do you guys have any questions for me? Sorry, I was talking really fast, trying to make it really quick.
No, I just thank you for the e-waste information. That was really helpful.
I'm
good.
sorry that, it's something I know that the county used to manage for the towns, and, they went through a 5-year period where, Vintage Tech continued to do it even though we didn't have a contract with them, and, I wish the county would still pick up the whole program of that, but, it is what it is right now until I can be a little more effective over there. So
They got an additional $2.2 million, so
$2.2 million someplace.
over what they budgeted, which is already all our money going over there. So.
yeah. So
Nancy, on the Hope Not Handcuffs program, would the training be in the village conducted by the village police?
you know what? It wouldn't be conducted by the village police. It would be conducted by the Hope Not Handcuffs organization. And they have several trainings happening in the near future in the area, in Dutchess County, Orange County. I think they may have another one coming up in Putnam. They just haven't posted it yet. But, there are trainings happening close by. And, I don't think they'll do one specifically right in the village of Cold Spring because we are quite small. But maybe I can get
recruit people, or
Yeah.
the village and town could recruit people to.
Sure. I mean, right now, because we don't have the program established with the village police, we can't just send an angel down to the village headquarters to assist someone in need with that. They would call on them to go to the headquarters in Wappingers, I think, has it. Putnam has it. The Putnam Sheriff's Department has it. Kent has it. So we could certainly get trained ourselves. Like, I would have to go to Kent if called, or I'd have to go to Carmel if called, until we get it established in Cold Spring. And I'm really hopeful. I know they're really busy because every municipality wants it. So, and they're just one organization. So, thanks.
Thank you.
So, anything else?
No, back to the sales tax quickly. I mean, I really would encourage, I know that you've been working on this and it's fantastic, but if the county exec would really consider working with us. Personally, I have never really had a meeting with the county exec. It's my 6th year on the town board. I know county execs go to a number of towns, at least sometime during their terms, and have a discussion. And I don't ever recall that's ever happened.
So I'd be happy to make that request, send a letter to the county executive saying that the town council and the supervisor, if you're interested, would like to meet with her. Maybe we can have a workshop one Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, it gives them a chance to explain what they're doing with the sales tax. A lot of areas, since we're of only a few of the 58 upstate counties that don't get to share, and I think they would find that a lot of those counties that do share, those people feel more as though they're involved, they're part of it, and actually the sales tax would probably grow because people would see that they're getting a percentage back, and I think that would encourage more of it. So actually, I think it would actually grow it if they became more involved with us.
Just to open the conversation,
Yes,
have a better
if nothing else, just
understanding.
let's have
basically.
a conversation at least, not to
Sure.
have it at least is.
I mean, from a fundamental issue of fairness.
Yes.
Yeah.
The money comes from here, the money comes from all the townships, goes to the county, and then,
We have to know that it's equitable, and
I mean, also the fact that we're $2.2 million over. Where does that money go?
Right.
It's not going to e-waste.
Right, it's not going anywhere. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, they should be accountable for that.
Yeah, and the municipalities that generate that sales tax should have some say in where it goes. Look, if they want to hold on to it and bring it back to the town in the form of services, that's a good start.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's infuriating.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Thanks for all your work. Cemetery Committee.
Okay, the cemetery committee, because of the good weather, actually did field work in August. We actually cleaned up 15 gravestones, mostly in the North Highland Cemetery. We've been trying to concentrate a little bit up there as well, because we've done so much work on the two village cemeteries for a few years now. In speaking to the stonemason also, I'm going to propose in the September meeting to the committee that we switch our resources from the village cemeteries to North Highlands for the fall, because the stonemason does concur that some of the work that I looked at up there to try to stabilize at least some of the larger stones. I'd brought that up in the past. My concern is that if we just keep concentrating here, that we can end up with more and more damage there by not taking certain steps to try to at least stabilize some of them that are on that bluff overlooking Route 9, and he concurs. We did also work in the Cedar Street Cemetery, remove some branches and so forth that blocked part of the views into the cemetery itself, and I think that looks a lot better. Ground radar has been moving slowly, mainly because I guess we're small potatoes, but I am continuing on that so that you're aware of that. And our next meeting is September 10th. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for all your work over there. It really is meaningful. On to the agenda.
Okay, the first item, a resolution authorizing Supervisor Shea to sign the agreement between Xerox and the town for a new copier for the building department, and that's nunc-pro-tunc.
I know that Greg is very pleased about this. I know
Yes, he
he's
is.
lobbying heavy for about 2 years. I met with Greg today, too, so he thanks the whole board for going ahead with this. Could I get a motion approving that copier?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you.
Okay, the next is a resolution authorizing Supervisor Shea to sign the parade permit for the Walter Hoving Home for an event to be held September 7th, 2019, and waive the fees associated with said permit.
This is something we do every year for Walter Hoving Home. We're glad to partner with them on this, and it's a good day for them, so it's good for us. Can I get a motion on the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye.
The next item is a resolution reappointing John Maasik as a member of the Recreation Commission, whose term will expire September 30th, 2026. Hard to say.
Well, we're glad to have John Maasik as a member, and if he's willing to serve that long, then more power to him.
It's a lot of good work with the Friends of Philipstown Recreation.
Yeah. So could I get a motion of reappointing John Maasik to the Rec Commission?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you.
Okay. The next four items, number 4, 5, 6, and 7, is going to be a discussion on, and not awarding.
So, as many people probably know, we're about to undertake a major rehabilitation of this building. And I first want to thank Councilman Van Tassel and Councilman Flaherty for all the work they've done on this. I know the whole board has been involved, but John's done a great share of this. We've had many, many meetings with the architect, had a couple setbacks with the way we had to prepare things when you go to do public works and the WICS laws and prevailing wage and the certified payroll. It gets complicated, to say the least. But we were fortunate to get a lot of good bidders, right across the board. Quite a variation in price range, as you can see. This is all available to the public if you're interested, but we did get, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17 bids, all in all, in various categories. So that was a really good sampling. We felt very comfortable. Initially, we were a little leery because of the great variation in the pricing, but we called references. We had the bidders come in for a due diligence meeting to make sure they were comfortable with their bids. They all sent in letters of qualification saying that they're comfortable and that they have the qualifications to go ahead. So the last one we had today, I met with the electrician and Justin Caker here in Town Hall. So with that, the low bidders for the general contracting is PVS Construction. The HVAC work is MH Heating and Cooling. The plumbing work is S&L Plumbing and Heating. And the electrical work is MC Superior Electrical Systems. And respectively, the general contracting is $796,250. The plumbing, the HVAC work is $105,000. The plumbing work is $170,000, and the electrical is $138,900. So it worked out good. It came in, right about where we thought it should come in. Many times you're disappointed when things come in double or triple what you think they are, but we were right there where we figured it should be. We do want to make some allowances because we know when they start tearing into this building, you're probably going to find some surprises, not the good kinds.
Can only imagine.
We're still looking for the buried treasure in here somewhere. I know somebody left it.
We found Betty's roller skate.
That's we do have Betty Budney's roller skate downstairs, so we're going to bronze that, put it here. Yeah. But for anyone who doesn't know, this room, they used to roller skate in this room, play basketball in here for many years. So it's been a real hub of the community. And we aim to respect that and respect the legacy and make sure it goes into the future. So there'll be a lot of work coming up. The Justice Court is moving out. What's the projected date, John?
September 16th.
September 16th. We're looking for the full-blown work to start November 4th. The reason we're not awarding the bids tonight is because we have a 30-day permissive referendum period. We have to wait until we can do the bonding and award the contracts. So after 30 days, we'll award the contracts. In the meantime, we get the financing together now that we do know the amounts. You'll notice that the financing that we're going to approve is going to be higher than the bids. We want to avail ourselves to that amount of money, not that we intend to spend it if we don't have to, but we want to have it there because you don't want to go in low and then have to go back and redo the financing. You want to approve it once, have an amount, and then work within that amount. But we've also been meeting with various finance agencies, so we're in a very good position right now. And our thanks to Highlands Architecture and Justin Caker have just been
He has really been all over this. Amazing.
a
That's cool.
pleasure to work with and super diligent. I mean, has prepared so many documents for us. So, and our attorney, Stephen Gaba from Drake Loeb, just been very, very good. So it's been a long haul, but we're happy to say that we're going to get going on this. We are putting in an elevator. After all this time, we will come into compliance with the ADA Act, and I know the film crew will appreciate that. Cecilia especially at this point. Right now we have to lower her down in a bucket tonight out the window.
She's going to roll her scooter down there.
That's right. It's gonna be, but at any rate, we're pleased to make that announcement, and we'll see on the agenda. We're going to move on to the bonding next. But Ed, you had a question?
Yeah, I'm wondering who the primary contractor is?
The primary contractor is PVS Construction.
PVS?
PVS like CVS, the pharmacy, yes, but P.
P?
P as in Peter.
as in
Yep.
VS, yep.
Where are they located?
They're out of Poughkeepsie,
Oh, Poughkeepsie,
yep.
or local then?
Yeah, they're all fairly local, Yep.
That makes it easy.
We hope so. We certainly do hope so. And we have, as the clerk of the works, we're going to have our own code enforcement officer, Greg Wunner, who is a wealth of knowledge, right next door, has agreed to do it. That'll be a savings for us and also very convenient since he's here every day. So he can,
And very versed in the construction.
very versed in construction and also oversaw the building department rehab. So he's in the whole renovation. He works really well with people, but he knows what to look for. So we're in good hands there also. All right.
Okay, the next item is a resolution authorizing the reconstruction of the town hall in and for the town of Philipstown, Putnam County, New York, at a maximum estimated cost of $2 million, and authorizing, subject to permissive referendum, the issuance of $2 million bonds, and this is a roll call vote.
So before I move that, I would just say, again, you'll see that's $2 million. That's a maximum amount. We don't anticipate that we're going to be spending $2 million. And what we want to do is we start off with a ban, which is a bond anticipation notice. So for the first year, we do the project, we know exactly where we're going to be, we have the money, we can get it in installments, and then the following year we'll go to a statutory installment bond, and at that point we lock in and begin our 15-year period of payments. This is not going to have any impact on taxes, by the way, so that's been another part of this. It's been a long-term, a 10-year savings to try to get to this point, and selling of buildings, saving money, having other bonds come off. So we are in a position where we can do this, remain under the cap. So we just want people to know that. And again, we're not spending money that we don't have to. If we don't do something with this building, we won't be able to function anymore, and the building won't function. It's not working any longer, and it's about time we do something. So with that, I would entertain a motion on a resolution authorizing the bonding for up to $2 million.
So moved.
This will be a roll call. Councilwoman Farrell.
Aye.
Councilman Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilman Van Tassel.
Vote aye.
Councilman Leonard.
Aye.
And I vote aye.
We didn't have a second.
Oh, we didn't have a second?
Second.
Second, Mike Leonard.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next item is the Code Enforcement Monthly Report. Fees collected, $20,492.05. Total permits issued, 40. 3 additions, alterations, or repairs to residential buildings. 2 additions, alterations, or repairs to commercial buildings. 37 all other permits, pools, sheds, decks, plumbing, HVAC, etc. There were 27 COs issued, 2 stop work orders issued, operating permits issued, hazardous material 1, and 3 inspection of public assembly, 1 inspection of commercial occupancy. And he makes a note, save money and energy by servicing your air conditioner filters regularly. And we did not get the report from Cold Spring.
All right.
I think he was on vacation.
Our thanks to Greg Warner for that report. I don't have anything to schedule for next week, so we can, unless somebody's got something pressing. We did meet 7 times in the last month. I could go for,
You met last night with the community solar project, but we should schedule another meeting with her, because they would like to get on our agenda for October, but we should discuss that at some point and get them on the agenda.
That's
Because
fine.
it sounds like a worthy program. If anybody else has any comments on it, but it seems like a no-brainer to sign into this. I mean, there's benefits to the town, there's benefits to the residents, and you get a lower electrical rate, so.
This one you have to opt in, not
You're
opt out.
right, you would opt in and opt out. So it would basically be you're opting into buying solar power.
right?
And for every household that we get on this program, the town receives a credit, a financial credit, which could go towards a project in town, so.
Well, that's good.
So
Yeah,
we-
sure. I
we'll
mean, if-
meet and discuss, and I'll have them put it on.
Yeah, if they want to come in and make
October-
a short
at the
presentation
October.
so it gets on
Right.
television.
Oh, you want to do that at the next meeting?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean,
Is that what you said? Not
Yeah.
a workshop?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can do it at the
might as
October.
well do it and get it televised, because then
Right.
people,
What they've
Well,
done, City of
I
Beacon.
don't know if it'll be
the-
televised at that point, because we're not, if we're gonna be moving.
Well, it'll be
Yes.
taped.
They're
It'll be
gonna have-
taped, and
Tape, but it
Right.
won't be live, that's
Right.
all I'm saying.
What they're looking from the
except
town.
the satellite.
Yeah.
You got a satellite in the car, right? All right.
If they're looking for us to endorse the program, similar to the other one we went into, like the mayor, they've had a program from the city of Beacon where the mayor of the city of Beacon went on this flyer, and I said, you could be on the cover of the flyer, it'd be great.
Up the ante a little bit there, Ange. You know what I mean? All right. No, it sounds like a good program, so, yeah, we would love to have them in, explain it to the public, and then also explain how that coordinates with our community choice aggregation program. So, but thank you. Anything else from the board?
We also discussed continuing discussion about the vape shops and the moratorium, which will expire, I believe, in the next few months. So, yes, so we'll have to do something by then. So
So
we
you-
want to put
you
that
guys
on the
got my
agenda.
email?
Yes.
Yeah, we're working,
Yes.
we're researching, Judy and me
Yes,
will
we're
we'll
researching.
taking a look at what this state requires currently, what maybe other states are looking to do, and obviously taking a look at the whole picture of.
But you can also pinpoint where they go, just like we used to do with the adult bookstores.
Right,
You know,
right.
if
yes.
that's the best we can do, then that's what we should do.
Right.
The other issue becomes, they're selling them at every convenience store.
They're all over already.
Yeah, so I mean, if we're going to, you know, that's just something to bring up with the attorneys.
Yeah, because Jewel is suing a number of states for
banning.
for freedom of trade and so forth, and feels it's unconstitutional and violates their business rights. So
Yeah.
that's happening now in certain states.
Yep. It's okay to poison young kids, though. That's just fine. No, they're not for young kids. Adults love cherry, berry.
Yeah.
That's just, it's crazy. It's a crazy world. And it goes right down to Washington. There's no way you could be doing this without somebody okaying it down in Washington. So you know they must have a heck of a lobby down there. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
So. Anything else from the board?
I'm good.
I would just say to everybody that obviously we've seen this devastation with the hurricane. If you haven't done so already, it's very important that you have a personal plan of evacuation. Our town is a beautiful town, but it's also a very dangerous town in the sense that there are a lot of narrow roads that sit at steep inclines. Those of us that were around in Irene, which was only a tropical storm, did devastation to this town because of the amount of rain in so many hours. Not just, oh, I'm going to evacuate upstate. Where and how far do you maybe have to go? If you're seeing what's happened to the Bahamas and what's happening to Florida and so forth, those can happen to us and have happened. Sandy was a devastating storm, but it was only a Category 2. And look at the damage it did. All right, so it's very important. The Bahamas obviously are wiped out because of the Category 5. We shouldn't see ourselves as exempt from that happening. It could happen. So I implore you to make sure that you have plans as to where you would go, what kind of lodging and so forth. Just don't pick a place in Dutchess County. That's certainly not going to be far enough if we're being affected that way here. So I think we should learn some lessons from, unfortunately, what's happening to poor people down south. And it appears as though this will miss us, but this is hurricane season, and there are other storms that will form, and we need to be ready. So I implore you to please prepare. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Anything from the audience?
Have a question.
Sure.
The contractors that are gonna be doing the work on the building, do they all have to be licensed in Putnam County?
Yes, they do. They have to be licensed here. They have to present us with their insurance certificates. There's a bond requirement. So all of that, you know, and it's also public works, so they'll be doing prevailing wage with the certified payroll. That payroll gets reviewed by our engineer. So it's a whole process. And we've learned, you know, from past experience with the building department. But they do have to be licensed in this county, and they all are licensed here in Putnam County. Yes, Ed, you want to step up to the...
I was up to your office Tuesday morning
You were.
and discussing a issue. I read in the paper about a soil mining and rock crushing workshop that the town board had published. And I learned from your office that, being in your office, that this situation seemed to be resolved. And I don't know how that could happen when you publish a workshop in the paper and then all of a sudden it can be resolved. If I might say,
We talked about it at a town board meeting.
Yeah, we never published a workshop. We
yes, you did.
We,
Yes, you did. I am
well, I would
sorry
ha-
to
I'll have
say
to
that.
defer to the clerk on that.
But
Did
you
we
did-
publish for a workshop for soil mining?
No,
Soil processing.
no, they spoke about it at the town board meeting, but they never scheduled the actual workshop.
Well, that's possible. They,
Yeah.
I read it in the paper
Yeah.
that a soil processing and rock processing workshop was to be scheduled,
Yes.
but I understand that never happened.
The issue was resolved prior to that. The person who made the complaint was satisfied, so there was nothing to discuss.
Well, if I knew that, the workshop was going to happen, I have a complaint. I'm sorry that my neighbor never contacted me. To get together and come before the board with a complaint. My complaint is that my property borders Polhemus Construction. And they have recently built a berm out of mulch and whatnot up against their property line, and they have a chip pile that must be 500 to 1,000 yards of material right up against the property line, which is smoking, creates quite an odor, and I have a tenant. I had the property up for sale, and I am surprised Mr. Polhemus didn't want to buy it, which would eliminate me being here. But it's still for sale if he so desires to purchase it. And my reasoning for being here is I would like to see a dirt berm, and whatever he is doing on top of the dirt berms, if he's planting any types of trees or bushes or whatnot, that he would do it along my property line as well. And of course, my tenant is a new tenant. I had quite a job finding the right tenant, and he's a very private person, and he likes his privacy. And I'm sure he's going to be out in his yard smelling a mulch pile deteriorating and smoking and one thing or other. So if I didn't know if the town board was aware of this condition or not, but I would like to make them aware of it now, and I would hope that somebody would speak to him, Mr. Polhemus from Polhemus Construction, and advise him of the condition that I've been living with and my prior tenant has been living with for the past 25 years. And it's taken me near 2 years to on and off renovate the cottage that's there now. So I'm just here trying to take care of my business, and my tenant is my business, and I want to take care of him. I want to see him stay in Philipstown. He may be an asset, and so you might see him advertising in the local paper, as a matter of fact.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ed. So just for clarity, Ed's last name is also Polhemus. If you're talking about 25 years, Ed, you were in that business. You were part of that family business prior to.
Right.
Right.
You're looking at a survivor.
Right. So I'm just wanting, for clarity's sake, and Charlie Polhemus is your nephew, right?
That's correct.
Right.
I
So,
don't do business with Mr. Polhemus.
well, I'm not saying you do or don't or have
just
to or
letting you
whatever.
know.
But I did call Charlie after our meeting the other day, as I said I would, and mentioned all the things you just mentioned to me. So he's aware of this. So I just wanted to let you know I did follow through on that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Just want to clarify, household hazardous waste day is 9 to 12 at Canopus.
9
Yeah.
to 12. Hazardous waste day.
You do have to make an appointment,
Yeah.
so.
All right. I've done it before, and it's good. If you have any hazardous chemicals you want to get rid of, it is a good service to have. But do make an appointment, get out there early, so. But a good way to get rid of things you don't want kicking around your house. Anything else? All right. Vacancy 0, that's the way we like it, right? Woo-hoo.
Not in a while.
No.
It's nice to see.
Approval of vouchers, general.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Highway.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Continental Village Park District.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Continental Village Water District.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Just one final thing, we're talking about water districts. I know the Garrison Landing Water District, we've been having an issue down there. It's ongoing. We went and hydrofrac'd one of the wells. We wound up getting cloudy condition. We couldn't reintroduce it into the system. Finally got the cloudiness worked out, reintroduced it into the system, and for some reason the well stopped pumping. So we're meeting down there on Friday morning. Again, I've been meeting there twice a week, and it's not as if I don't know that there's an issue there. We have been purchasing water through Transalito. There's a tanker sitting there, and I know it's an inconvenience, but better safe than sorry. We have good, pure water going into the system. There are no issues with it, but we do want to get the condition. We have to get the condition resolved. Again, by state law, we can only collect $22,000 a year out of that whole system. That has to include debt service, any improvements to the system, and operations and maintenance. It's an impossible situation. We're working through it. These things take time, so I would ask the residents to, be patient, but we are very, very aware of it. That system has been the bane of my existence since it went in. It's been nothing but complaints, even though I've put my heart and soul into that. I mean, we built that whole system in-house. We saved $1 million doing it. It has worked. When it works well. It's just there's not a lot of water underground there. We have 3 wells, all of them 750 feet deep.
And 5 gallons a minute.
We're lucky if we get 5 gallons a minute total out of all 3.
Out of all 3. Wow.
And currently, in the summer, what happens is people start using more water, the demand increases, and then we can't keep up. We only have a 5,000-gallon storage tank. That's all we could fit in that space. But we were mandated by New York State and the Putnam County Health Department to change what we formerly had, which was a surface water system, which really was not. People have a fond remembrance of it, but I know what was in that system. So we're much better off doing it this way. We have a treatment plant there. It's monitored every single day. So we're aware of the issues with it, and we're working through it.
What time are you going to be down there Friday?
Friday, I'm supposed to meet Rick Kane at 9 a.m. All right, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you.